Shalom, shalom, Israel. What's good? What's good? What's good? I hope you guys can hear me, man, because today I got a nice topic for you, man, and I would love to discuss it with you, man. And if I can, I want to discuss creation, the creation of the earth that we're living on today. Either we're going to choose the Most High, who we know as I am, but you call him God, or we're going to choose man's theory. Now, when I get into it, I want you to understand Colossians 2:8. Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophies and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ. See, my thing is, when you came off the slave plantation, man, they had already coined theories, and the theories that they came up with were Darwin theory of evolution and the Big Bang theory. But we know as Hebrews, the only person who knew about creation was Moses. When Moses came off Mount Sinai, he came down with the law, statutes, and commandments, and he also knew about creation. It was no one on the face of the earth that knew about creation other than Moses. Now, when they translated, when they translated the Hebrew scrolls into English, they also translated the story that Moses knew, because only the Messiah, the Most High, was talking to Moses, and he was able to tell Moses everything that happened in the beginning of the world that led up to him getting the law, statutes, and commandments. Why you think he was gone so long? But now, since we living in 2017, these Caucasians came up with their theories, and Colossians 2:8 specifically said, "Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophies and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, and not after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ." See, we got to understand something. You went from knowing about creation through Moses, having it rewritten like a novel when King James got a hold of it, when William Tyndale and they rewrote it. Now we got to understand something. When the Most High created the earth, he created earth in John 1-4. In John 1-4, bear with me because I'm doing it outside today, man. I need a little fresh air. John 1, first chapter 1-4. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and that life was the light of men. Now that's John, first chapter 1-4 verse. Now, when we get into creation, we got to understand something. They've been lying to us for so long that they implemented theories and ideas, so-called educated guesses. But we got to get into these scriptures, and we get into these scriptures, they pop off the page and they lead us back to the Most High. Now, Genesis first chapter. And I like to start slow with the guys that's not on my level. That's why I like to give folks milk and water, and sometimes a little meat. But today we're going to take it one step at a time. Genesis, first chapter. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and the darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Now in 1 John, it tells you, first chapter 1-4. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Everything the Most High spoke out of his mouth was the Word. Now we got to understand something. We living in a realistic world. We know that the sun was created by man. That's light. And we know that the moonlight is nightlight. But we got to understand how he divided the world, how he created it, because people can't understand it because they've been Colossians 2:8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophies and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, and after the rudiments of the world, and not after the Messiah. So everything they're doing is not going after the Messiah. They're leading you falsely. Now, what I'm doing is trying to help bring you back to the Messiah, and bring you back to the Father, so we can do this on a more spiritual level. Because it took me a while to get to where I'm at, and it's a lot of cats that's not going to get there. Now, Genesis first chapter. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and the darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. I don't add nothing, and I don't take nothing out the scriptures. I'm looking at it as a world, as a whole, as a collective. We know the sun. That's why I'm outside today. I want you to know the sun is out here. You know, that's a fire. There's nothing that can exist on the world without the sun. If you know anything about scientists and science, and if you get into science, they tell you about photosynthesis. Can nothing live without that light? See, people got to understand it. It's a lot of cats that want to do this, but they don't do it the right way. We got to break it down for the babies so we can grow. They can grow with us. Now, it said, God said, let there be light. And there was light. And God saw that the light, and God saw the light, and that it was good. And God divided the light from darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. Remember, when they wrote this, they took it from our ancient Hebrew scrolls that only Moses knew about. Only Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob knew. Only Moses knew about. So who was God talking to Moses, and what was he telling him? That's the whole point I'm trying to make out to you. When the Most High was talking to Moses, he instilled everything into Moses. He told him everything about creation. John, 1st chapter, it tells you, in the beginning was the Word. Now we take it slowly. We got to take it slow with the people, man. We can't just rush this. We got to understand it. And it said, and God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the water. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the water which were above the firmament, and it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day. He created the heavens and he created the earth. See, when he created the earth, he created it different. You see what I'm saying? But everyone in heaven had their own job and titles to do. That's why the Most High sits high and he looked low. See, when we get into this, we got to get into it wholeheartedly and take it slowly, because these Caucasians implemented a theory of educated guesses. Their theories is whatever they thought about, because the Caucasians aren't the children of Jacob. They aren't blessed with the spiritual awakening that we have. They aren't blessed with the understanding that we have. So when we get into this, we get into it step by step. It took me 35 years to get it. Now, I'm going to skip down, because in the beginning we know that the God created earth. I don't add nothing and I don't take nothing out the Bible. So when you get into Genesis 1st chapter, you can go all the way down, and it tells you about how the Most High created the heavens and the earth, and how he divided it, and how he created the day and the night. But we get in it on a realistic level. We look at the world for what it's worth. In the beginning of creation, we know that the sun existed before man. We know that the moonlight was already out there. We know the moon. This was way before the Caucasians had telescopic lens to look into outer space and tell you what they choose to tell you. See, when we get in this, we got to look at it on a realistic level. Colossians 2:8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophies and vain deceit after the traditions of men. I'm not going after the traditions of men. I'm not doing this on a vain deceit. And I don't follow false doctrines or false philosophies. I follow scriptures. John 1:4. In the beginning was the Word. What was that word? The word was when God spoke out his mouth. Even when he created man and he blew life into man, he instilled the word within man. And when we get into Genesis 1st chapter, all the way down to 26 verse, and God said, let us make man in our image, in our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowls of the air, and over the cattle, and over the earth, and over every creepy thing that creepeth upon the earth. It said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them is plural. Them mean many. It didn't say let us make him or her. It said them, because in 26th chapter, woman wasn't even created yet. This is about the people that was on the earth first. See, people want to get into this, man, and they don't understand how to do it the right way, man. You can lead people astray when you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm not bashing no brothers, man, because everybody got to get it. But at the end of the day, the Most High work well with every individual that's looking at it from a spiritualistic level. Now, 26th verse says, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them, meaning many, have dominion over everything upon the earth. So God created one man in 27th verse. God created one man in his own image. This is the Adam that we know that they speak about, the so-called Adam. This is the Adam that they speak about. Now it said, and God created man, one man. See, in this sense, in the 26th and 27th verse, they were speaking about man in a plural sense, meaning many, and man in a singular sense, meaning one, who you so-called called Adam. Now we got to get into this understanding, and people don't want to do it the right way. But it said God created man in his own image. Remember, when they wrote these, they took it from the ancient Hebrew scrolls of Moses. Only Moses knew about creation. No one else on the face of the earth knew about creation until Moses. Nobody. Abraham didn't know. Isaac didn't know. Jacob didn't know. Nobody knew. Ishmael didn't know. Esau didn't know. Noah didn't know. Nobody knew. Nobody knew until Moses. So I don't know how the world get caught up in these philosophies and saying, oh, Darwin theory of evolution and the Big Bang theory. Nah, because they come from a Caucasian standpoint. These Caucasians are not us. That's the nation that been put on top of us to instill the Most High's judgment on us because of our forefathers going off the law, statutes, and commandments. I respect that. That's why it was just. But at the end of the day, what they did to further their greed, they took our land, gave it away. They took our sovereignty. Now we stuck in America and we can't come back to our nationality because we don't believe it, because we don't know what to believe, because they took everything. Now I'm trying to wake you guys up to the truth. And I don't get into no camp truth. This is not their truth. This is the Most High's truth. The scriptures speak for itself. I don't go against the scriptures. I stay exactly to the scriptures. It took me 35 years to get it, and I got it all on my own. No one helped me. And that's why I take it slow with my brothers and sisters that actually watch my videos. It said, God, in 27th verse, God created man in his own image. That's one man in his own. That means the Most High who created the heavens and the earth, he took one man who you call Adam and created him in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, singular, one man who you call Adam. One man. Male and female created he them. Many people. Because it's getting a confusion because the Caucasian told you that Adam and Eve were white and it was only two who populated the planet because they have no understanding. This is not for them. This is not their book. This is not their history. This is not their nationality. They're liars. Surely they have been inherited lies because they believe God is white. The Messiah is white. They believe the whole world belongs to them. They believe they're superior over us. They believe they're supreme over us. But two Caucasians can't have a dark-skinned race. That's why it's not for them, because they cannot understand this. Now, 27th verse says, so God created man in his own image. In the image of God created him, one man. God created one man and kept him up under himself. Now he created many people at the same time. Those were known as the sons of Adam, who was to be unto spittle like the Most High. Not his bloodline that came from Cain. He killed Abel. He had a son named Seth. When he had Seth, he chose that line right there to bring about Noah. This ain't about no book of Enoch. Enoch has nothing to do with Noah. Enoch and Noah are two different individuals. That's a grandson. That's a grandson, man. Enoch has nothing to do with my grandfather or Noah. Enoch has nothing to do with these scriptures, man. So you cannot get into the book of Enoch if you don't know who the true story is about, man. People kill me, man. And one thing about me, man, I study a little bit too much, man. I don't like to play games, man, because you cannot go after the philosophies of men. Colossians 2:8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophies and vain deceit. After the traditions, it's been a tradition for them to instill what they think into your mind. Because this is the most powerful thing that you have on the face of the earth, your brain. Now understand, when you get into the scriptures, the Most High will guide you the best way, not the worst way. We're living in a trying time now in 2017. In order to understand it, we got to bring our people back to the nation the right way. Now, 26, it says, in 26th verse in Genesis, 1st chapter, God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them, so-called Eve was not in the picture yet. Woman has not been created from the rib yet. So do not say that was Adam and Eve he was speaking about. See, these people have no understanding. And this is not an insult to nobody. You just got to understand what you're speaking if you're going to lead the people. The pastor's not going to do it. And I'm not talking about no other camp, because this is not a white man's doctrine. This is the understanding of the scriptures in the Bible. Now, what I'm trying to do is understand creation, because you got to take it slow with the people. Is it God, who we know as I am? Today, modern time, y'all say Yah. Or is it man? Man's theories. Darwin theory of evolution. The Big Bang theory. You see what I'm saying? You come from some organisms. That's what these Caucasians do in these laboratories when they try to study something. Now, when we get into these scriptures, they pounce off the page at us, man. God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, one man. And this is 27th verse. In the image of God created him, one man. Male and female created he, them, many, plural. God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply. How can man be fruitful and multiply if woman was not even created yet? That's the special, particular person he took among himself to separate from the world. He took him among himself to separate him from the rest of the people on the face of the earth, because they was to be unto like spittle to the Most High. Now, we not even talking about the other nations yet, because it wasn't until the Messiah came and told you that they were dogs. Now, we got to take this thing slow. I'm trying to bring you back, so I'm going to walk you through time the best way I can. Now, this is about creation. God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them, many. God blessed them and told them to be fruitful and multiply. Now, I'm going to skip right there. Now, I like this is about creation. This is about trying to kill these theories, man. The Darwin theory of evolution and the Big Bang theory. Because there's a lot of people that don't believe in God because they can't understand that sun right there. The sun was the very first eye of the Most High. There's nothing new under the sun. That's that eyeball to see you every day, man. He know what's going on. He know what I'm out here doing. He know how I'm delivering the message because he got me doing it. When we see that moonlight, that's why he said keep the Sabbath holy, because he know what he's doing. He know. The Most High put this all in order. Before these scientists and these NASA want to look through a telescopic lens and tell you what's in outer space and tell you about different planets that they named after Roman gods, we got to understand these scriptures and understand the historical evidence. And we can use a little bit of science too. Now, I'm gonna go to something that I wrote on Facebook to help you understand creation. Now, I'm not adding and I'm not taking nothing away from the scriptures. As you seen that I stayed with the scriptures. Genesis 1st chapter all the way through is 100% true. I don't know what the hell the world got going on, but I'm not a part of the world. I was born in the world, but I'm not of this world. Now, creation, this earth and humanity. It took me 35 years to think about creation, not to mention years of spiritual enlightenment. Many have been led through theories of evolution, yet nothing concrete. Nothing concrete. Only thing concrete is Moses. Only thing concrete is these scriptures. Only thing concrete is giving you the law, statute, commandments in which these so-called Khazars over there in Jerusalem have stole our laws and called it the Torah and stole our nationality, claiming to be us. Now, yet like I was saying, there's nothing concrete about these theories. But when you get into the scripture, they pounce off the page at you. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. Now we got to take it slow. Way before the Messiah even was ever born. Way before Noah got in the ark. We got to understand it. Way before there was even a John or any disciples. We got to take it slow. Now, we know how vast space is. That's the universe. That's the deep. That's the deep of the dark in the scriptures. We know how vast space is. But he divided it. He divided it. Gave you the sunlight so he could divide the deep. You see what I'm saying? The Most High knows what he's doing. He sits high. We look low. You see what I'm saying? We are his servants. But in the beginning, we know how vast space is. Yet we never looked at it how it's related to the earth. You got to understand the difference between the universe and the earth. We're not the only, I won't get into being the only planet in a solar system that has life, because I know it's selfish for the Most High to create a planet like this and not create life elsewhere. But I'm just sticking on a level. My dad told me, if you want to deliver a message to the people, you got to come down with earth on earth terms. So that's what I'm trying to do. In order for me to help you, I got to teach you. And in order for me to teach you, I got to tell you about me and what I understand. So we know how vast space is. Way before they came up with telescopes, way before they was able to look out of space and tell you what's out there according to what they think. Lying to you wherever they want to, but that's what they do. That's a Caucasian mindset. That's why they give you the Big Bang theory and the Darwin theory and tell you you came from monkeys, instead of telling you were created from the soil of the earth like you were supposed to be. Now, we all know how vast space is, yet we never looked at it how it relates to the earth. In the beginning of creation, we know life came into existence through the power of the Most High. How? Remains a mystery to many. Or is it so? Or is that so? Does it remain a mystery? Or is it so? Because if it's a mystery, it only can be revealed to those that get into these scriptures. The Most High will deal directly with you spiritually. He knows exactly where to point you in the direction. A man's going is of the Lord. In Proverbs 28:24, a man's going is of the Lord. So then how can he understand his own way? You can't. Only the Most High leads you. Now, it says, we know life came into existence only through the power of the Most High. How? Remains a mystery to many. Or is that so? My thesis have brought me to this conclusion. People question where water come from in the sand. It's not hard to see if we open our minds. Seeing how only the Creator allows us insight. In the beginning, we know the sun and the moon existed before everything. We know the sun was out here before anything. Couldn't exist. That's oxygen. You only get oxygen from the trees. That's scientific. The melanin in the tree bark is the same thing in your skin. It's not hard. I'm just trying to help people understand Genesis is 100% pure when you understand everything around the world. Now, in the beginning, we know that the sun and the moon existed before all things. For there would be no life according to man's science and the understanding of photosynthesis for there would be no life according to man's science and the understanding of photosynthesis. When we look at this planet, we have to look at it realistically. This is a world. Three things you need to understand life. Three things you need to understand about, three things you need to understand life, period, point blank. The sun, the moon, and the earth. Forget NASA for a little while. It's not about NASA. You got to understand Colossians 2:8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophies and vain deceit after the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ, after the Messiah, who came to redeem the children of Jacob. Now, forget NASA for a while. When this world was formed, how is the question? Why is the ultimate question? Man, why is the ultimate? Why was this world created? Is the ultimate question. That's the ultimate question. Why was it created? Do I need to go back to Genesis? I'm gonna bounce back over there in a minute. But this is my thesis. This is what I understand. This is what the Most High gave me a long time ago. So if this cat want to get, I've been doing this for 35 years. A long time ago, I've been doing this. Now, when God decided to create this earth, you have to open your brain, your mind, what you were born with. You have to open it. Even if you can't get into the scriptures, because it's hard. Because when they rewrote the Hebrew scrolls, they gave you a novel, and you're reading it like a novel. Now we got to understand, Moses came down off Mount Sinai. He didn't have no novel. He was speaking the words out of his mouth that he was given. Now we got to get into this. When God decided to create the earth, you have to open your brain. Even if you believe the earth is flat or round, it doesn't matter. We're one individual who stands in one spot on this entire planet. So how can you tell if it's flat or round? It doesn't matter. Just open your mind for a minute, man. Now, when God decided to create the earth, you have to open your brain, even if you believe the earth is flat or round. My thesis will point you in the right direction. Look at the sun as an eye. There's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun. Look at the sun as an eye. Ecclesiastes 1:9. There's nothing new under the sun. And the moon as a nightlight. Just a nightlight. Because we know that it glows. It glows. Because before these Caucasians were trying to tell you the sun reflect light off the moon, that's a lie. It glows. It glows like a nightlight, man. That's something that you can never tell me or make me believe, because I don't follow the theories of man. I see the moonlight for what it's worth. It glows. But that's another topic. I ain't gonna get into that. And it says, there's nothing new under the sun, and the moon as a nightlight. This earth wouldn't be possible without the two. It wouldn't be possible. Thank you, sister. Thank you, sister. I'm just trying to elaborate and help the people break it down, man, because John 1-4 said, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. Can't nobody break that down unless they go all the way back to the true essence of life, the true essence of what this world is, and why was it created in the first place. All right. Look at the sun as an eye. There's nothing new under the sun, and the moon as a nightlight. The earth wouldn't be possible without the two. Yin and yang, hot and cold. Father and mother. That's how I view it. Now, this is my thesis. Don't take it and run with it. I'm not adding and I'm not subtracting. I'm putting it in proper perspective. That's it. We can get into the scriptures and I'll break it down with you and I'll help you elaborate a little bit better if you want to do this with me. But I like to go live and talk to the people. That's all I can do. We gotta look at, matter of fact, let me start over. Look at the sun as an eye. There's nothing new under the sun, and the moon as a nightlight. The earth wouldn't be possible without the two. Yin and yang, hot and cold. Father and mother. Look at the stars as immortal beings. When the Messiah was born, what did he have to sign? What did he have as a sign to signal his birth? What did he have? Wasn't it a star of Bethlehem? Wasn't it a star that appeared in the sky that showed the so-called three wise men that, the child is born? It was a star. They knew it for a fact that it was a star because the child had been born. They were looking for the Messiah to come. He is immortal. He is an immortal being. Now, we got to understand these scriptures, man, and let them pounce off. Stars. Yeah, he's a star. Yeah. Stars. I look at the stars as immortal beings. When the Messiah was born, what did he have to say? What did he have as a sign to signal his birth? A star. Yes, it was. Respect. It was a star. You see, when this world was created, it took thy father. Now, see, people get caught up in thinking of the Messiah, of the Father, as just by himself. That's why these sissies thinking that he's a homosexual or he's androgynous. No, the Most High has a queen. Now, that's from my understanding. I don't care what no one else has to say. This is my understanding of what I know to be true. The Most High has a queen. And I don't know what everybody thinking he don't, because he didn't get the idea to create male and female without having a same kind of structure up in heaven. It's crazy. As in heaven is down on earth. We're servants to the Most High. Now, we got to get into this. When you see when this world was created, it took thy father and thy mother. Don't ask me about the mother. She's someone I know about. She's someone I know about. I'm not trying to push this on nobody. This is my understanding. That's why I don't follow nobody's doctrine. So, you see when this world was created, it took thy father and thy mother. Don't ask me about thy mother. She's someone I know about. Just bear with me. A single star to create the earth. This Bible gives us clues to our existence because only one man knew about creation. That was Moses. No one else did. Thy father talked about the beginning of creation only with him, only with Moses. That's it. He was able to tell him everything about creation on Mount Sinai, everything. No one else knew about thy father. No one else knew. No one else did. The father talked to about the beginning of creation only with him, Moses. Not the whole world, not these other nations. Not no Abraham, not no Isaac, not no Jacob, not no Ishmael, not no Esau, not the other nations, not no Japheth, not no Ham, not no Shem. He's only told Noah to build the ark. He only instilled the word of God into so-called Adam, which was known as man, way before women got here. So when he blew the breath of life into his nostril, then he instilled the word of God into him. So I don't care what other people have to say. Just do not tell me what you have to understand. Your understanding or what you know to be true is according to you and your partners or whoever you deal with. I'm doing this thing the way the Most High has me doing it. Now, you see, when this world was created, it took thy father and thy mother. Now, this is something that I understand. Don't come at me any other kind of way. And I love all y'all the same way. I'm just giving you what I understand, what I know. It took no one else did the father talk to about creation, only Moses. That's it, only him, not the whole entire world. That's why when the son came, he was the only one that knew. The son was the Messiah. He knew everything. He knew he was the word, the living word. He knew what he was saying. He knew who he was. Now we get into this understanding. We got to work with the people. No one else did the father talk to about the beginning of creation, only with him. Colossians 2:8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophies and vainly seek through the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world. I don't care about what y'all thinking in this whole entire earth. I'm not with it, man. I'm a whole different individual. So, with that being said, thy father took the sun and the moon, a single star. This is my thesis. Don't take my thesis and run with. I'm not getting into nobody else's thesis, nobody else's understanding. I don't need it. I don't read no other book. I stick with the whole King James Bible, 80 books. That's it. That's all I need, man. I don't get into nothing else. I'm telling you straight up. I don't get into nothing else. The father took the sun and the moon as a single star. This is my thesis. Don't take it and run with it. Like I told you in the beginning, you can rewind the tape. This is my thesis. This is what I understand. It's not for everybody. This is what I know. The father took the sun and the moon as a single star, revolved around it, heating it up, cooling it off, attracting all the other stars in the solar system into it, all immortal essence into it, as the core became molten liquid, due to the fact that the stars in space are just little grains of sand heated up to as an endless form of light until it loses its flame and falls into the earth as a grain of sand. That is scientific knowledge. Everybody can tell you that. The sun and the moon orbited around its star, pulling everything in space unto it, all the minerals, all the materials in the cosmos, from grains of metal, iron, stardust, gold flakes, rocks, everything from the vastness of the universe. As the star in the center of the earth got hotter and hotter, the sun and the moon heated and cooled the surface of the earth off. Eventually, the star in the center got so hot it was ready to erupt. Look at it like a face full of pimples. Eventually, what's inside has to come out. With volcanoes in place like mountains on the face of the earth, the star shot straight out through the volcanoes. Now, this is just something that I understand. This is my thesis. That's it. All right. The volcanoes in place like mountains on the face of the earth. The star shot straight out through the volcanoes. What's known as volcanic eruption in these days, 2017, volcanic eruption. Now, in the scriptures, we get into Genesis. We ride it all the way through. Either way it go, the Most High created. This is something I'm trying to show you. Did God create the earth or did man create the earth? Did he give you theories of you come from monkeys? No. That's Caucasian mindset. The nation that's on top of you. We got to understand this. Darwin theory of evolution is flawed. The Big Bang theory is flawed. There's no way you can come around it. What I'm doing is trying to help you understand what I've been given. Now, what's known as volcanic eruption in these days? The volcanic eruption released pressure. It released the flow of lava in the center of the earth. As the lava flowed, the smoke from the eruption caused atmospheric pressure, which caused the formation of what's known as cumulus clouds. These clouds absorb the moisture of the heat from the volcanic eruption. As the lava flowed, the humidity rose from the steams of the volcano. Now the earth was formed by the heavens, yet not populated with neither vegetation, insects, animals, male and female beasts, predator or prey, and nor man or woman. The clouds absorbed all the humidity until they were ready to release its due. As the clouds began to rain, it was like a monsoon. It rained endlessly until the earth was filled with water. 70% of water and 30% landmass is what makes up the planet. The water soaked into the earth, and over time, vegetation began to spring forth. Seeing how there would be no life without oxygen, the trees, plants, flowers, bushes, and grass, etc. produces oxygen. We question the formation of man and beast, yet we first have to establish a base canvas for God to work with. As an artist paints, so is the creator, sending immortal beings as one form of existence, sending immortal beings from one form of existence to another, a form of mortal existence. Wasn't something that happened overnight. Your book, the scriptures, the Bible gives you 7 days according to man in their structure, schedule, existence. Now, the Bible talks about 7 days on a 7-day calendar, just like you got 7 days of the week according to pagan calendars. I don't follow that. I look at the Most High as my Father. Like I tell you, that's my Father. I don't look at him as no other way, but that's my Father. Period, point blank. Now, the Bible gives you 7 days according to man's. When King James rewrote the Bible, they gave you 7 days. When Moses got the creation, he knew it as something different. They didn't follow the sun. They followed the changing of the moon so they can keep the Sabbath holy. Now, the Bible gives you 7 days according to man. Colossians 2:8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophies and vain deceit, after the traditions of man, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ, the Messiah, the Son of God. Now, your Bible gives you 7 days according to man in their structured schedule existence. A week according to a Gregorian calendar. My Father doesn't go by man's calendar. My Father don't go by man's calendar. My Father doesn't go by man's calendar. The creation of man was only for Moses and the Hebrew Israelites, not the world. The creation was only for the children of Jacob to understand and not for the entire world. Why do you think John told you in 1 John 1-4, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was, matter of fact, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the light, and the life was the light of man. God's greatest creation, God's greatest gift to man is life, but to a soul is death. To a soul, the spirit is in you, it gets experienced death for the very first time. Now, I'm not talking about no Esau. I ain't talking about no white man doctrine. I ain't talking about nothing. I'm talking about these scriptures. I'm talking about understanding the planet we live on. How they've been lying to you with Big Bang theories and Darwin theory of evolution, and giving you science, whatever kind of guesses they giving you. That's why it's okay for you to be a homosexual and thinking that God does not have a queen. My Father has a queen. My Father has a queen. I don't know about who the God you serve. I don't know where your spirit lies, but my Father has a queen, man. I don't know about those sister homosexual shit, man. My Father has a queen, whether you even like it or not, man. Now, back to what I was saying. The Bible gives you 7 days according to man and their structured schedule existence. A week according to a Gregorian calendar. The Bible was written on a lunar calendar, following the changing of the moon. That's why it's supposed to keep the Sabbath holy. but the week according to a Gregorian calendar. My father does not go by man's calendar. Whether it's a today's day Hebrew calendar, it doesn't go by that, man. A week according to a Gregorian calendar. My father does not go by man's calendar. The calendar of man was only for Moses. The creation of man was only for Moses and the children of Jacob, the Hebrew Israelites, not the entire world. Your captors decided to teach you according to their logic, which is false. It's Colossians 2:8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophies and vain deceit. Your captors decided to teach you according to their logic, which is false. They have no God. They have no God, man. Now, man's creation is another story. It's in the Bible. My father is God. You can't see, only feel within. I have established a basis for water and dirt, soil, sand. Began creation. Creation of insects, animals, male and beast, and man and woman. I'm just helping you establish a basis so you can see that the Most High has something to build upon. Because this is the earth. This is the world we're living on. Now, I'm going to get back into Genesis. I'm just establishing the basis for all these so-called atheists that want to say the Most High does not exist. My father exists. He's just a living God that you can't see. Now, man's creation is another story. And it's in the Bible. My father is a God you can't see, only feel deep within. I have established a basis for water and dirt, soil, sand, begin creation of insects, animals, males, females, beasts, and man and woman. There would be no life without that which giveth. That means there would be no life without my father who give you the life. Period, point blank. This earth is a living organism. Everything that you need comes from the earth. You plant a seed, it spring for food. You need something to drink, the rain produces water. Whether we know it or not, it does. Everything you need comes from the earth. It's a living organism. Whatever you need, it will provide. It will provide your every need. There will be no life without that which giveth. This earth is a living organism, as science would have you to call it, capable of sustaining all forms of life. The food grows and the water falls. That's all you need. Yet, what more do you want? You have a basis for food and water. What more do you want? It's greedy. You're greedy when you want all the material aspects of the earth. The gold, the silver, the diamonds, the jewelry. If you want the materialistic possession, let me help you understand. I'm just giving you a basis because I only have 50% on my phone. And I wanted to touch bases with this. Matthew 6:19-21. Lay not up for yourself treasures upon the earth, but lay up for yourself treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where the thieves cannot break in through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be. You were born in a world like this with a mind, body, heart, and soul. To understand the world you're living on, you just need to understand the spiritual, the physical, the mental, the emotional, and the sexual. You got to understand who you are. Now, let me go back to Genesis. I'm trying to do this a little fast, man. That's why I'm talking a little fast, because I only got 15% on this phone and 15% on this phone. So work with me. Now we finna go back to when it said, we finna go back. I'm go back. I can't go through the whole thing, so I'm trying to rush. I'm not trying to rush through it, but I'm trying to get to the main key points of what I'm saying. In the beginning, God created heaven and the earth. The earth was without form and void. The darkness was upon the deep, the face of the deep, which is the universe. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. How did he create waters? That's the point. People don't understand that. I'm just establishing a basis for you to understand. God's logic is not the same as man's logic. This was rewritten from what Moses understood. What Moses knew about is not what King James knew about or what William Tyndale knew about, or whoever tried to translate the Hebrew scrolls knew about. They only stole our Torah after the Messiah died in 740 AD. I'm just trying to line it up with you, man. I'm just trying to help you understand so we can break it down together. People can't understand this. People can't get it because they're not going to get it. In the beginning, God created the heavens and earth. And the earth was without form and void. The darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the water. And God said, let there be light. How was there light? Where did you get the light from? Only God knows that. Moses, the only one, knew that. But see, Moses couldn't understand it because he had to teach the children. Now we live in 2017. It's time for us to wake up, man. The sun is the ball of fire right there. There's nothing new under it. Everything that you're doing today is happening already. The spirit within you already existed. It's crazy because can't nobody break it down because the pastors in these churches that want you to pay some money. I'm not asking for no money. I'm just trying to help you understand, man. The world that we living in, man, is crazy and chaotic, man. They believe we are the monkeys. No, These Caucasians are born with tails, just like them Indians born with tails. They're born ugly. The Most High don't care about them. They're imperfect. The laws of Moses make you perfect. We're born perfect. Even though he gave us over to the other nation for our forefather going off the law, statutes, and commandment, we still his children. We still perfect to him because he chose a nation among himself. And it's in many scriptures. I just don't want to dabble into the other scriptures right now because I ain't got that many percent left on my phone. Because it's going to take me a minute to charge it up. But what I was saying was, God said, let there be light. And there was light. God saw the light was good. And God divided the light from the dark. And God called the light day. And God called the darkness night. Same thing we know about day and night. But we understand the day, when the sun rise, it's light. When the sun fades, because the moon don't never come out that often. But we know it's night because it's dark. But he divided it. He divided the heavens and the earth. Either way it go, we understand that. Just understand that. It's crazy, man. People want you to believe what they believe. I don't follow what other people believe, man. I'm in Richmond County, Augusta, Georgia. Grew up here, man. I don't follow other people, man. I'm a grown-ass man, man. Now, what I was saying was, the God called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day. And then you skip on down and say, God made the firmament and divided the water which were under the firmament. And but what I was trying to do is different, because you can go through the scriptures and you can get lost in it. And that's what a lot of people do. They get lost in it and can't understand because they don't have no understanding. They don't even know they don't know scientists. They don't know the scientific aspect of the world. They don't know historical facts. They don't know biblical facts. They don't even know nothing about Jerusalem. They don't even know nothing. But they all want to go against the scriptures. But they want to go against the one who gave the scriptures to the prophets. People kill me, man, but they want to live in a world like this here in Colossians 2:8. That's why no one has no understanding, man. Because they can't get it. No one's trying to give it to them because everybody want to be right. I don't want to be right. I want to be wrong. I hope these folk didn't steal the Messiah's identity like that. I hope these Caucasians didn't steal the children of Jacob's identity like that. I hope they didn't give the whole Jerusalem away to some fictitious Khazars like that. Have us in America leaning on the government for the wants and needs of all things. And they want to establish a theory, a Big Bang theory, and a Darwin theory evolution around me and try to tell me that there is no such thing as my father, the creator. Man, you got me downright bad, man. I ain't got time for that, man. I'm a grown man, man. Look, you ain't finna lie to me. You might have schooled me in your school system because what give you the right to school the children of Jacob according to your system? You can feed them whatever you want them to believe in those systems. That's why they took the Bible out of it. Colossians 2:8. Everything in these school systems is Colossians 2:8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophies and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ, after the Messiah. Nobody's following. I don't care what university. It wasn't until the Moors came down out of Spain and went into Europe. The Moors had 17 universities in Spain. The Europe only had 2 universities when they came down. They were 99% illiterate. The whole European illiterate. So you Caucasians, you want to be Caucasian Christians, you pastors want to pull guns on my partner and want to go kill our people. Talking about if they shoot at the police shooting at them. I seen one of them pastors on there with it talking about, I got my pistol. If you shoot at the police, I'm going to come get you myself. That's a Caucasian pastor right there. What do you need a gun for? I thought you believe in God. I thought your God was all powerful. What do you need a gun for? Your God ain't protecting your nation? So you want to go kill every last one of the children of Jacob? You want to go behind them and kill them? So the God ain't with your nation, huh? This come on to the Caucasian Christians. All of them want to take up arms and run against my people. You want to kill my people, but guess what? You have no God. Your nation has no God. Your nation has no God, man. The Most High is not dealing with your nation. He only put you on top of the children of Israel to chastise them. That's it. We're smarter now. We're growing up now. We're grown now. We know what we're talking about now. We know what we're doing now. We know who you are. You're no people. You're a foolish nation. But yet, what gives you the right to teach the children of Jacob in your school system? No evolution. That's fake. Respect, my sister. All evolutionary theories are fake. I just established a basis. I just established a basis for the Most High to work with. As an artist paint on a canvas, he has something to work with. The Most High look at the world as a canvas, something to work with. We are his molds. Everything that we do is according to his will. I don't know what everybody else got going on, man, but I don't care. This is about creation. You start with the people and you give them water. Give them some milk. They're not ready for meat yet. So you got to walk them through this. If y'all all over the place, even though Isaiah said precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. This is a puzzle. No one can put it together the right way. Only the Messiah know. He hasn't been here. He ain't here yet. I'm waiting on him to get here. But I'm finna do a little intermission till he get here. I'm finna help you wake up. Because that's what we do. We wake each other up. Especially when nobody else trying to. You see what I'm saying? So I want to get back into what I have established a basis. Because before my percentage is down, I want you to understand what's coming from my understanding. Not doubt. No, let me say this. No man should lead from their own understanding. I never led from my own understanding. I watch everything. I review everything. I look at everything. I study for myself. And then the Most High guided me the way he want me to move. Now, this is my thesis. And I'm going to try to run through this a little quickly. I posted this on Facebook, but people can't read the word because I'm not a keyboard cruncher. I don't debate over no computer, man. Talk to me direct like this, man. We can get up like this, man. I can work like this. Creation. This earth and humanity. Humanity was never designed to be put into a system, whether you know it or not. This democracy that's on top of you now is Roman democracy. The Romans were the one that murdered the Messiah. So whether you believe the Messiah exists or not, that's on you, on your spirit. The creation, the earth and humanity. It took me 35 years to think about creation, not to mention years of spiritual enlightenment. Many have been led with theories of evolution, yet nothing concrete. This is just a thought. Don't take it personal. This is just a thought. Don't take it personal. We know how bad space is, yet we never looked at how it relates to the earth. In the beginning of creation, we know life came into existence only through the power of the Most High. How? Remains a mystery to many. Or is that so? Is it so? Only Moses knew about it. My thesis have brought me to this conclusion. People question where water come from and the sand. They question that. It's not hard to see if we open our mind. Stop being carnal minded and be spiritual minded. It's not hard to see if we open our minds. Seeing how only the Creator allows us insight. In the beginning, we know that the sun and the moon existed before all things, before a telescopic lens, before they was looking at outer space. We knew that. We know that now. And it's simple, man. It's not hard if you open your mind, man. Seeing how only the Creator allows us insight. In the beginning, we know that the sun and the moon existed before all things. For there would be no life according to man's science and the understanding of photosynthesis. There will be no life according to man's science. Your Darwin theory, evolution, the Big Bang theory, there's no life in that. The Most High is not working with no rock hitting the earth. He ain't working with no monkeys, turning no monkeys into humans. Come on, man. No dinosaurs. Come on, man. Even though the Bible talks about Leviathans, we know about dragons. The Most High, this is ancient history, man. Ancient. Nobody can understand ancient unless you have an old, ancient soul. The spirit within me is old and ancient. I don't care if y'all believe it or not. I'm just letting you know. It's old. Old soul. My thesis have brought me to this conclusion. Remember, this remains a mystery. My thesis have brought me to this conclusion. People question where water comes from and the sand. They question where the clouds come from. How does it get rain? They question all that. Because when the Bible speaks about the water, they don't know, well, where the clouds come from. See what I'm talking about? They don't understand the elements. They don't understand that. They don't understand nature, man. My thesis have brought me to this conclusion. People question where water come from and the sand. It's not hard to see if we open our minds. Seeing how the Creator allowed us insight in the beginning, we know that the sun and the moon existed before all things. For there will be no life according to man's science and the understanding of photosynthesis. If you don't understand photosynthesis, please do not debate or comment in my section. I don't care to kick it. If you don't understand photosynthesis, that means you're not studying deep enough. So just leave me alone, man. Leave me alone. This is for the people that actually want to ride with me, man. So, and I'm sorry, man. My phone about to die on me, man. I got 5% left. I'm going to try to make it quick and sweet. All right, in the beginning, we know the sun and the moon existed for all things. There would be no life according to man's science and the understanding of photosynthesis. We look at this planet. We have to look at it realistically. This is a world. 3 things we need to understand life: the sun, the moon, and the earth. Forget NASA for a while. When this world was formed, how is the question? How was it formed? Why is the ultimate question? Why was it formed? When God decided to create the earth, you have to open your brain, your mind. Even if you believe the earth is flat or round, it doesn't matter. My thesis will point you in the right direction. Look at the sun as an eye. There's nothing new under the sun. And the moon as a nightlight. This earth wouldn't be possible without the two, yin and yang, hot and cold, father and mother. Look at the stars and immortal beings. When the Messiah was born, what did he have as a sign to signal his birth? A star. You see, when this world was created, it's the father and thy mother. Don't ask me about the mother. She's someone I know about. Just bear with me. A single star to create the earth. It took a single star. The Bible gives us clues to our existence because only one man knew about creation. That was Moses. No one else did. My father talked about the beginning of creation. Only with him, not the whole world. So with that being said, the Father took the sun and the moon and a single star, revolved around it, heating it up, cooling it off, attracting all stars in the solar system unto it, all immortal essence unto it. As the core became molten liquid, due to the fact that the star is in space, it's just like little grains of sand, heated up as an endless light until it loses its flame. And fall unto the earth as a grain of sand. The sun, the moon, around put everything in space unto it. All minerals and materials in the cosmos, from grains of metal, iron, stardust, gold flake, rock, everything from the vastness of the universe. As the star in the center of the earth got hotter and hotter, the sun and the moon heated and cooled the surface of the earth off. This is just my thesis. I'm giving you a basis. That's it. They cooled it off. Eventually, the star in the center got so hot, it was ready to erupt. Look at it like a face of pimples. Eventually, what's inside has to come out. With volcanoes in place like mountains on the face of the earth, the star shot straight out through the volcanoes. What's known as volcanic eruption these days. The volcanic eruption released pressure. It released the flow of the lava in the center of the earth. As the lava flowed, the smoke from the eruption caused the atmospheric pressure, which caused the formation of what's known as cumulus clouds. The clouds absorbed the moisture of the heat from the volcanic eruption, and the lava flow and the humidity arose from the steam of the volcano. Now the earth was formed by the heavens, yet not populated with neither vegetation, insects, animals, male or female, beasts, predator or prey, and nor man or woman. The cloud absorbed all the humidity until they were ready to release its dew. As the cloud began to rain, it was like a monsoon. It rained endlessly until the earth was filled with water. 70% of water and 30% land mass. It is what makes up the planet. The water soaked into the earth, and over time, vegetation began to spring forth. Seeing how there would be no life without oxygen, the trees, plants, flowers, bushes, and grass, etc. produces. We question the formation of man and beast, yet we first have to establish a basis, a canvas for God to work with. As an artist paints, so is thy creator sending immortal beings from one form of existence to another. A form of mortal existence wasn't something that happened overnight. Your Bible gives you 7 days according to man and their structure, schedule, existence. A week according to a Gregorian calendar. My father doesn't go by man's calendar. The creation of man was only for Moses and the Hebrew Israelites, not the entire world. Your captors, the nation on top of you, decided to teach you according to their logic, which is false because they have no God. Now, man's creation is another story. It's in the Bible. Man's creation. My father is a God you cannot see, only feel deep within. I have established a basis of water and dirt, soil, sand, beginning creation. Creation of insects, animals, males, females, beasts, and man and woman is in the Bible. There would be no life without that which giveth. This earth is a living organism. It's as science would like the earth is a living organism, as science would like to call it, capable of sustaining all forms of life. The food grows and the water falls. That's all you need. Yet, what more do you want? Now I only have 2% left. Now let me give you this precept. Colossians 2:8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophies and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after the Messiah, not after Christ, man. We got to follow behind the Messiah, man. We got to get into these scriptures and understand them, man. I'm just giving you a basis of understanding. You can rewind the tape, and if you got questions, just hit me up and talk to me, man. I do this all day. And I'm going to post my thing back on my Facebook page so you can read it for yourself. And shalom, and I'm going to come back with my phone charged up. Y'all love y'all, man, and y'all can get at me anytime y'all want to, man. Shalom, all right?